Why 827?
Why the fuck not? I'm kidding. I'm kidding, man. Man, 827 comes from, I think, a place of pure honesty. You know, for me, it was the genesis of learning about myself, which is something that I never really had the chance to do throughout my whole life. And 827 is just was something that was derived from a song. I was literally just writing a song, but then have a title to it. But it was produced by Fuego. And we were just hanging out in class at the time. We were still in high school, and we was in class, and we just spoke about, I literally asked him, I was like, "What's your favorite number?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What's your favorite number? Hurry up!" I was like, 8. I was like, "All right, cool." And I sat down. I just wrote just like 827. And having gone over that song quite a number of times, I then realized that this shit is actually pretty, not just work with it, but it's relative to my lifestyle, my daily life, day in, day out. And looking at my verse in the song, it generally speaks about the day-to-day dynamics, of my life in general, and it's not just, okay, I woke up in the morning, I brushed my teeth, I went to school or whatnot, and came back home. It's not just your daily random stuff. It's I woke up in the morning feeling like this, you know. And as the day proceeded, I felt like I was getting better. My mood was lifted. But then the moment I had to go home, it was another issue of I don't want to go home, because now the time is 6:25. The day is pretty much over, and you're at home, and there's those dynamics at home that you have to deal with again. And again, you find me in bed by 8:27 again, because I just go to bed early, just hang out there for a while up until I pass out, you know. And that's what 827 was to me, basically. It was understanding and acknowledging the dynamics, the emotional dynamics of my life, and what impact they have in general on me as a person, on my day-to-day lifestyle, on my mentality as well, which is something that I've never really considered. So for me, it was, what do we call it? It was a eureka moment.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a eureka moment for me. So, and it was, I believe, one of the most important in my life.
Our generation really led to believe what we could do. Huh? What we could do. Our generation was really led to believe that we could do anything and be anything we wanted. Have you had any experiences with disillusionment?
Yeah, plenty actually, because you know the standard thing, man. You're growing up in a black household. You're taught that this is how to live your life. You'll only be something in life.
How a man is supposed to behave. This is what a man is supposed to be like this.
Yeah, man, that your life will only be prosperous and successful if you live it like this. That these are the things to consider if you want progress in your life. These are the things that you should do if you want to be a strong person. Discipline, discipline, discipline. And honestly, it came to a point where I started having to take a look at what I was being told, in perspective to my own life. And I was like, I do not relate. You know, I don't relate at all to whatever it is that I'm being told, because I feel like the dynamics are way too different. I can't not, you know, put myself in a situation. Hold on. I can't not put myself in a situation where I have to, you know, do my own introspection and look for alternative ways of doing things that will be, like beneficial for me and to me specifically, because all those other things that I've been told and all those other things that I was, basically force fed and brainwashed to believe, they just weren't working out for me, man. They really weren't, you know. Neither was I good at executing them because I was like, man, this ain't bullshit, honestly.
This ain't the one.
This ain't working out for me. I can't keep up with this nonsense. So
I get you, bro. Okay. What has the creation journey of this EP done for your spirituality, your mentality, and physicality?
physically, I've gained a lot of weight. Um, yeah, physically, man, I've gained a lot of weight, bro. Cause man, it's been a serious roller coaster, dude. Because it kind of made me understand a lot better that I am a stress eater. I'm that nigga when that fix me up type of thing for me is a chili cheese double medium meal with Sprite with no ice. You know,
Already
and
know, got big smoke.
yeah,
Smoke
man,
number
yeah.
nine.
Let me hold the number six with extra dip. So yeah, man, it's like that, man. For me, my feel good go to place was food, and I'm pretty dope in the kitchen, man. So, and crazy enough, it helped me understand that I'm the type of person who only feels centered or kind of feels a lot better about things when I have control over them,
Yeah.
you know. So when I was working on this EP, man, writing a lot of stuff at night, it led me to realize that I talk about these things, I think about them often, but the effect they have on my life can only be controlled by doing certain things. Like for example, being in the kitchen, gaming, because it gives me a certain sense of control, therefore it grounds me,
Yeah.
you know. So whenever I speak about these things, whenever I write about them, it kind of helps me understand myself a lot more, you know. So when it came to my mentality, it brought a lot of growth. A song like Ice Cream, Water, and Happy Thoughts. I mean, the title itself just tells you, man, it's ice cream, it's water because water is life, man, and happy thoughts is the mental aspect of everything that you could only everything is controlled by you. You have the most amount of influence in your life. So that's why it's important to maintain or keep up those thoughts, that positivity in your mind. So yeah, man, just the putting together of this EP was a lot for me. It was emotionally draining. It took a lot of effort as well, because I don't think I would have done any of the songs on this project, probably besides Neighborhood Talk. I wouldn't have put none of these songs out if I just felt like, you know what, I want to do a project that's gonna make me blow up. I wouldn't have put on any of these songs, but I just felt like before I proceed with dealing with every other thing that's commercial, in the music industry, I need to start being open and honest with myself and with my music, you know. So just put yourself out there, man. Out there, hang yourself on the cross, and let them nail you. But
Anticipated.
whatever it is, man, that they nail you for, you just know that you were being honest about it.
Yeah.
It was you, you know.
Genuinely. Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine this: an 18-year-old version of yourself walks up to you, asks you for advice on steps he's taking in that time. What would you say?
I admires that nigga.
Go on.
I pretend I don't know who he is. I just look at him and just walk across the
What is
street.
you, bro?
I'd run away.
Why?
I'd run away, man, because I'm the type of guy who learns things the hard way. If I don't learn things the hard way, for me it might not register as thoroughly as it's supposed to. You know, fine, I'll learn the lesson. Yeah, I learned this, I learned that, but
You even gone through it.
I haven't gone through it, so I don't understand the full dynamics of it. I've seen it, but I haven't felt it. You know, and in order for me to, I mean, how I got to this place was I did a lot of feeling. You know, so I feel like I'm pretty content mentally and spiritually with where I am right now, and I wouldn't want to alter that in any way. So I think anything and everything that I would have said to that 18-year-old me would have probably altered what I think and what I feel about myself right now. Yeah.
Who is this project for?
For that 18-year-old dude, you know. I think this project is testament to how far I've come, you know, mentally, you know. For me, 2018 was the peak year of fuckery, and I don't know what the hell's going on with my life right now. I know what I want, but I don't know what is going on around me, you know, and within myself. And 2019 was just a breakdown point where things were starting to make sense, you know, but still had no idea as to how to cope and how to deal with them, you know. And I think last year, which is 2020, was recovery mode. You know, it was the guy going into the mountains to be a monk, basically. You know, that was, yeah, man. That was my 2020 for me, and I received a lot of enlightenment, man. I spent a lot of time, you know, trying to discover me, you know, within the charisma, within, you know, the bad mood swings, within the anger issues, you know, within everything, basically, what's deep down in there, you know, what's going on, how do I take control of all of this, you know. And I think I did a pretty good job within a short space of time, and I think the lockdown was part of the reason why I had so much time to actually pull that off. And I think a year isn't a lot of time to actually work on yourself and develop so much, you know. But I mean, I managed to make that happen, man. And by God's grace, man, I still got a lot of growing to do, you know. And yeah, man, at least now I know which direction I'm headed at, you know.
What did you not get to say and on what? What did you not get to say on the code and prophecy that you could now?
Um, I think comparing the code and the prophecy to a lot of the stuff that is on this EP is kind of a stretch, because the code and the prophecy was just, you know, mostly a freestyle. Secondly, well, the second part of it was just, you know, just a general conversation to, you know, a friend, you know, or an acquaintance regarding certain societal issues, you know, obviously regarding the opposite gender, you know, and how that made me feel and think, you know, and how I viewed them after that, you know, but also taking note of my part in the chaos, you know. That was the code and the prophecy for me. It was, yeah, they did this, but look at the role that you've played in the disaster, you know. And I think that went a lot over a lot of people's heads because, well, man, my flows is tight, bro. You know. But a lot of the stuff on this project, man, it's brutally honest stuff. You know, it's just wide open, and it's not just take a look at what you've did. It's how do we come back from this? You know, we are taking note of all of our faults. We are taking note of the things that scare us, the things that stress us out, the things that we want from life. But how do we go on about it? You know, and I think that's what's the most beautiful thing about Love in the Dark.
What made you decide to take this approach with this EP? What is it about the live element that inspired you this time around?
Hey man, I feel like I didn't really take that decision, man. I just kind of walked into it, really. It wasn't, you know, this is what I want to do and I want to do it like this now. For me, it was just, I think the sonics all around it, you know, mostly a somber sound, you know, reminiscent, you know. And again, you also get that little bit of, you can kind of feel the aggression, you know, as well. It's there because also that is how I feel as well. But I think when it comes to sheer honesty, especially with yourself, you know, it's not always doom and gloom, you know, but obviously that's the anxiety part of it, which is basically how work sounds, you know. And that song, it just is a serious mood killer. It's a buzzkill, you know. That's how it feels like, you know, but that's not what you're gonna hear, obviously. But understanding and going into depth about that song, that's how it feels like. But then listening to a song like Ice Cream, Water, and Happy Thoughts, you just feel like it feels a little uplifting, you know. Hence the live element to it, and 827 kind of feels the same way, right? But it's an upliftment from a very low place, you know. So it's kind of like baby steps and stuff like that.
Okay. What are you trying to achieve with this project?
Like I said before, man, personal growth, you know. Obviously not just for, you know, myself mentally, but also musically, you know. I'm trying to grow with this, you know. I'm not trying to restrict myself or box myself to trap hats and hard bass and stuff like that, but just explore a little more, you know. Look for different sounds, look for different ways to execute your delivery on raps and stuff like that. You know, sing a little here, sing a little there, but just overall, just grow, you know, with your music. Look for new things to do, you know, because at the end of the day, man, I'm not trying to sound like the same guy I was sounding like in 2017, you know. I'm trying to sound different. You know, you grow to a point where you rediscover new things and you kind of like break them down and plug them into your own style and into your own sound and how you deliver things, you know. So this for me was just going back to previous genres of which I've loved before, you know, like jazz and deep house, and just breaking down certain aspects of it and just putting it together with, you know, my style of hip hop, you know. So it'd be like that.
Well, what are you trying to achieve with your music?
Yeah, it literally is the same thing.
Yeah. So that is, yeah, continue.
All right, man. How do I feel? I feel like, man, things are about to,
It's 27.
I don't want to say take a corner, but I feel like I'm at the corner right now. You know, this is the corner. you know, because life is a journey, you know, it's a trip, you know, and in a journey, the road isn't straight and flat, my guy. There are corners, you turn corners, there's downhill slopes where everything just seems to be going way too fast, and there's also the uphill slopes, you know, where everything is a drag. You know. You feel tired every day, you just don't feel like carrying on anymore. But you know, once you start seeing things and start collecting personal accolades, you know, be it mentally, physically, you know, it's a great thing, man, to feel like you've achieved something, you know, to feel like you've gotten over a hill, to feel like you've conquered something, you know, and I think that's all part of the journey, man. Right now I feel like I'm at a yeah, man, King of Philadelphia, bro. Just turning corners and conquering hills, basically, is where I feel like I'm at right now, you know. This might be a small hill or uphill slope, but I feel like, man, I'm conquering that, and I'm just proud of myself for that. Yeah, man, slow and steady wins the race. But I ain't trying to go too slow though, man. I ain't getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger, man. I'm still young now, but I ain't trying to be I'm still young for the rest of my life. You know? So it's like that, man.
Now we're doing things and it seems for our parents been in the dark. Niggas driving slow. What's the destination, nigga? I don't know. I can't think straight and I don't even show it. Turn it up, don't you let me switch the flow. In the dark, niggas driving slow. What's the destination, nigga? I don't know. I can't think straight and I don't even show it. Turn it up, don't you let me switch the flow. I'm at my worst, I'm dropping everybody. I'm talking like I am cursed. I feel like I'm the problem.